The first light of dawn painted the horizon with hues of pink and gold as Killer and Pulu sped down the desolate highway. The events of the haunted holler lingered in their minds like a half-remembered nightmare, but their focus was unwavering. They had to find the Oracle. The engine's purr was a steady heartbeat against the silence between them, both men lost in their thoughts as the sun began its slow ascent. "Do you think she's still at the chemical plant?" Pulu finally broke the silence. Killer's eyes remained fixed on the road ahead. "It's the only lead we have. If she's not there, we'll figure out our next move." They arrived at the abandoned chemical plant just as the sun fully breached the horizon, casting long shadows across the dilapidated structures. The place looked untouched since their last visit, the air thick with the scent of rust and decay. They navigated through the maze of corroded pipes and crumbling walls, descending the familiar staircase into the basement where they had last seen the Oracle. The dim light from their flashlights cut through the darkness, revealing nothing but emptiness. "She's gone," Pulu said, his voice echoing off the damp walls. Killer's jaw tightened. "We need to search deeper." They ventured further into the labyrinthine basement, the air growing colder and the shadows longer. As they turned a corner, Pulu's foot caught on a loose brick, sending it skittering across the floor to collide with the opposite wall. The impact echoed hollowly, followed by an unexpected mechanical click. "Wait," Killer said, holding up a hand. He shone his flashlight on the wall where the brick had struck, revealing a faint outline, a square etched into the stone. "A door?" Pulu stepped closer, running his fingers along the edges. "Looks like it, but how do we open it?" Above the square was a rusty metal plate inscribed with a riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have nobody, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" "A classic," Killer murmured. Pulu thought for a moment. "An echo. Try it." Pulu pressed the metal plate, and the wall shuddered before sliding open to reveal a narrow passage descending further underground. "Witty," Pulu remarked. "They hid it behind a riddle." "Let's go," Killer said, stepping into the tunnel. The passage was claustrophobic, the walls closing in as they moved deeper. The air was stale, and the only sound was the distant hum of machinery growing louder with each step. After what felt like half a mile, the tunnel opened up into a vast underground chamber. They emerged onto a metal catwalk, overlooking a massive warehouse carved into the earth itself. The ceiling soared high above, supported by colossal pillars. Rows of big rigs and trucks moved in organized chaos, backing into loading docks and unloading crates stamped with familiar household brand names. "What is this place?" Pulu whispered, eyes wide. Killer scanned the scene. "A distribution center? But why underground?" They spotted an unattended golf cart near one of the loading bays. "We can cover more ground with that," Pulu suggested. They climbed into the cart and set off, navigating the maze of vehicles and workers who paid them little mind. As they turned down a side tunnel, they passed an open room lined with lockers and racks of protective gear. "Hold on," Killer said, pulling over. "We need disguises." Inside, they found hazmat suits hanging neatly in rows. Donning the suits and masks, they blended seamlessly with the few workers they encountered. They continued down the tunnel, which began to transform, the industrial surroundings giving way to polished marble floors and elegant lighting. They emerged into a sprawling atrium that took their breath away. "This can't be real," Pulu said, stepping out of the cart. They stood in an opulent shopping mall, its grandeur rivaling that of the most luxurious centers in the world. High-end boutiques lined the corridors. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Prada, Dior, Tiffany & Co., Cartier, Rolex, all impeccably presented yet eerily devoid of shoppers. A towering Balenciaga store dominated one corner, its dark facade and avant-garde displays sending a chill through them. "This doesn't feel right," Killer muttered. They moved cautiously through the mall, the echo of their footsteps the only sound. As they rounded a corner, they spotted a Starbucks, its lights warmly inviting. A lone customer stood at the counter waiting for their order. As they drew closer, Pulu's eyes widened beneath his mask. "Is that?" Killer nodded subtly. "An A-list celebrity. What the hell is going on?" They averted their gaze and continued past, resisting the urge to stare. The celebrity glanced in their direction but showed no recognition, retrieving their drink and disappearing down another corridor. "This place is a front," Pulu said. But for what? Something big, Killer replied. We need to find out where this leads. They spotted an exit sign and followed it down another tunnel, leaving the unsettling mall behind. The tunnel led them to a vast transit hub, reminiscent of a futuristic subway station. Sleek trains waited silently on tracks that stretched into darkness. A digital map on the wall caught their attention. It displayed a complex network of tunnels and facilities branching out like a spider's web. Symbols marked various locations: storage, transit, research, but one emblem stood out: a stylized laboratory flask. That's our destination, Killer pointed. They boarded the golf cart once more, heading in the direction indicated by the map. The tunnels grew colder, the air tinged with a metallic scent. They passed rooms with reinforced doors, some emitting strange lights or muffled sounds. Curiosity gnawed at them, but they pressed on until a particular chamber caught their eye. The door was ajar, and from within emanated a soft glow. They parked the cart and peered inside. 9 children sat in a circle, IV lines connected to their arms, the clear tubes pulsing with a crimson flow. Their eyes were closed, faces pale and expressionless. Killer felt a surge of anger. We can't leave them like this. We need a plan, Pulu cautioned. But first, we have to find the Oracle. She's the key to all of this. Reluctantly, they retreated, vowing silently to return. As they continued down the tunnel, the surroundings became increasingly sterile. The walls were lined with glass panels revealing laboratories filled with people in white coats and hazmat suits, tending to experiments that defied explanation. They finally arrived at a large central lab. In the center stood a massive glass enclosure adorned with intricate machinery and monitors displaying indecipherable data. There it is, Hulu said, the Oracle's holding tank. They approached cautiously, weaving between busy technicians who paid them no mind, their faces hidden behind masks and goggles. Reaching the tank, they saw it was empty, the swirling, luminous fluid within undisturbed. She's not here, Killer said, frustration edging his voice. They searched the surrounding area, accessing terminals and scanning documents, but found no trace of where she might have been moved. Why can't you sense her? Pulu asked. Killer closed his eyes, reaching out mentally into the void. There's nothing. It's like she's been erased. A sudden alarm blared, red lights flashing along the corridors. They've noticed us, Pulu hissed. Time to go. They retraced their steps, the wail of sirens growing louder. Guards in tactical gear emerged from side passages, but the duo managed to slip past, their disguises buying them precious seconds. Ducking into an unmarked tunnel, they ran until the alarms faded into the distance. The tunnel led them to a maintenance shaft that ascended sharply. Up there, Killer pointed. They climbed the rungs, emerging into a dilapidated warehouse bathed in the fading light of dusk. The contrast to the sterile environment below was jarring. Catching their breath, they looked back at the unassuming hatch they had just emerged from. This place is a maze, Pulu said. How are we supposed to find her now? Killer's expression was grim. We'll need help. Someone who knows these tunnels. Who? Before Killer could answer, a faint rustling echoed from the shadows of the lab. They both turned sharply, hands instinctively moving toward their concealed weapons. From behind a cluster of equipment stepped a small figure draped in a familiar white sheet with 2 black holes cut out for eyes, the ghost from the haunted holler. You again, Pulu whispered, a mix of confusion and apprehension. The child stood silently, lifting a small hand to point back down the corridor they had come from. Killer narrowed his eyes. Who are you? How do we know we can trust you? The last time we followed you, we ended up at a hollow log, a dead end. The child tilted its head slightly, then, to their astonishment, spoke in a soft, ethereal voice. I can help you find her. The voice was feminine, delicate, a girl's voice. Pulu's eyes widened. You're a girl. The child nodded slowly, the white sheet rustling softly with the movement. You thought I was a boy, she said softly, but I've been lost for so long, even I almost forgot who I was. Killer took a cautious step forward. Why are you helping us? Because you can help me, she replied, her gaze hidden behind the dark holes of the costume. I know these tunnels. I know where they've taken the one you seek. Pulu exchanged a glance with Killer. What do you want in return? She hesitated, the edges of the sheet fluttering as if caught in a breeze. Promise me you'll help me find someone. Who? Killer asked gently. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Me.